Luke from G.O.T Games just saw Taylor Swift for the very first time. He went to night 7 of the Eras Tour in London, and we've got to talk about it.
And we even talk about some Tayvis content that Luke is reacting to.
Welcome to Hits Differently. I'm Ryan, that's Molly. And the Eras Tour may be on a break, but we've still got you guys covered with all things Taylor.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos, and you can join our memberships for more behind the scenes content. The link to join will be in the description below, along with a link to Luke's channel so you can go check out all of his Taylor reaction videos.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. It's been a long time coming, but it's Luke and us. He's on the pod.
Welcome, Luke, back to Hits Differently. Luke is from G.O.T Games and has gone on this whole journey that took him to the Eras Tour. His vlog is available now. We are going to link to that in the description below so you can see his full experience. But Luke, how do you feel after going to the concert?
Tired. Thank you, by the way, for having me back, Molly and Ryan. It's been amazing for literally following your channel for ages now and just watching you guys kick ass. It's been awesome. I'm so proud. I've been following it. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are doing so well. It's so good. People were saying that this sort of happens, but it almost feels like it didn't even happen. That's how I'm feeling, which sounds sad, but that's the true feeling. I feel like I dreamt going. You know, it doesn't even feel like I went. It feels like I'm going next week. It's so strange. And other people said that they feel that as well. Am I alone there or is it normal?
No, you definitely build it up for so long and then it happens and you're in it. And then it's over. Even at the end of the show, you're like, oh, well, now what? Like, you just built me up for 3.5 hours.
We talk about like the concert amnesia, and I saw people talking about that before we went to see her for the first time. And it was so true. There are certain moments that you'll go back and look at your phone. Like, obviously, you editing the vlog probably had the similar experience. You're like, I saw this? Like, what? How was this real life?
Yeah, when I was like in person, because everyone was expecting me to be very like emotional in the vlog and very like crying and that sort of thing. And I thought I would be too, but I was just much more happy. But when I was going back and editing the vlog, I was just like crying the whole way through. I was like, oh my God, just like editing it. I had to like take breaks. I wasn't feeling like this when I was there. What's going on? So it's like two completely different experiences, but yeah, it just like re-triggers everything. It is strange. That amnesia thing is definitely real. It's so bizarre watching the entire performance, and then when it's ending, you feel like it's just started. I've never felt like that with any band I've seen. The longest show before Taylor I saw was Pole Jam. I think they performed for like 2.5 hours. And when they ended, I was like halfway out the door. I was like, Jesus, guys. I was like, how many encores do you want? And I was like, with Taylor, I was like, what? I just sat down. I was about to go get another drink. What's going on here?
You obviously got to experience the chaos outside of Wembley. How was that?
When we first got there, and when my wife and I got out of the car, as we were like coming in, it was just endless people coming out, because Wembley, you have the stadium and then you have this long giant path right outside the stadium and it goes straight to the entrances of the tube station. It's about a mile long. It's pretty amazing because when you come out of the tube station, because I saw someone at Wembley Arena, because there's two venues, you've got the stadium and the arena next to each other, and I've seen bands at the arena but never at the stadium. And when you come out of like the tube station, you've just got this giant like single road. The entire time I was there was just endless streams of people. I don't even know how they fit in the freaking stadium, and they would just kept going and going, and the second you like become part of it, you just feel like weird, like you feel like anxious but like happy. It's such a bizarre feeling, and everyone's just like super happy, and the staff are so involved, like the security, the police. It's like everyone's happy, they're all sharing bracelets, and everyone's just smiling. Everyone looks amazing. Everyone makes such an effort. Everyone looks incredible. It's like everyone just looks stunning. Every outfit is incredible. People had these giant freaking friendship bracelets. I don't know if you guys saw them.
I did hear you mention that, but I didn't see it. No.
That's so cool. I know. I was like, were they dressed up as a friendship bracelet, or they just had, when you said that, I was like, what does that look like?
I saw two people with it, and it's just a giant friendship bracelet that goes all around here, and I saw two different people with that idea, and it is just the best idea ever. And I was like, I don't know how they made them, but that was really awesome. I think my like favorite ones are the when people wear the exact same like suit outfits that Taylor wears. I don't know what the word is for them, but like the Reputation one, especially, I saw a bunch of people wearing that, and I'm like, do they make them or do you buy them? Like, How does that happen?
Yeah, a lot of people make them.
They make them.
Yeah, someone that we interact with a lot and follow her work, her name's Kenzie. She just finished making the Reputation bodysuit, and it took her like 50 hours or something. And then she makes the template for other Swifties to be able to like buy the template on Etsy, and then they can learn how to make it too. And there's a lot of people who do that same thing. Ryan and I thought about it. We're like, can we make our own costume? And we were like, absolutely not.
I don't even know how to sew. I don't even know how to sew. I literally thought about this before we went to Edinburgh, and I was like, we're just going to pause on that. They only get to wear it this one time. And so it's like, hopefully they get to wear it elsewhere if they go again, or if
just
they have Swiftie events. I would wear it all the time. Like the ones with the beads, I'd be like, I am wearing this. The bodysuits, I'm wearing it all the time.
It's amazing that people like can make that. It is incredible. When you first know you're going and you're like, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. It's like, it's going to be amazing. And as it gets closer, you're like, I need to dial it down. I need to calm down a little bit. I can't do all of this. I should just do this. It's like, I'll do this, I'll do this well, instead of like really bad versions of this. I'll do really good versions of this.
With the friendship bracelets. So in your vlog, you were like, oh, we thought we were going to make this many, but we're not going to have time. I'm like, that's how I felt making friendship bracelets too. I'm like, how have I just spent an hour on one bracelet? What's wrong with me? Yeah. How was your friendship bracelet making experience?
Well, we have some pretty brilliant experience. The first time I went to make bracelets, I like sat down and I made one and I loved it. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. It turned out really well. And I was like, I'm the best at this. I am the man. I have nailed it. I'm just like, woo. And then the second one, it blew up and went everywhere. Went all down the sofa. And I was like, oh my God, I'm the worst. And then I even had for about an hour, maybe even longer, I was nearly crying, like just like annoyed crying, like trying to tie the freaking ends. I left myself like that much room, and I was like just sitting there like this at the end of my sofa for like, please, just trying one thing.
Yep.
And then in the end, I just taped it, and that one is still taped, just in a cupboard downstairs. I gave up on it. It's just there. It will be forever incomplete. I don't want to even look at it. And yeah, but eventually you get a bit better. Because I actually brought the pot up just in case I got asked this question.
Yes.
Is this poor freaking bracelet that no one ended up having, which I did mention in the vlog, is right here. And this one, I totally just messed up so bad. It was just supposed to say August, but for one it's backwards, so it's AUG. But then the freaking, it's like, the T is upside down, so that doesn't make any sense. So it's AUG backwards, the T is upside down. I think I spelled it wrong. And the 24 is upside down as well. But the thing that was brilliant about this was I was like so proud. I love the colors. I was like really proud. And I was like, this is amazing. And I like went to show my wife. I was like, I made these. And she just picked this up and was just like, this doesn't make any sense. What's it supposed to say? And I was like, it makes perfect sense. And I took it off her and I was like, what the hell is this supposed to say? And I was like, it doesn't make any sense. And yeah, this is what happens when, you're not 100%. You're maybe having a tipsy evening and you make bracelets. They in your head, they're incredible. You're like, this is amazing, but they definitely didn't look like that. We ended up making 34 and we traded many. I thought it was
a lot. I was gonna say, did you trade a bunch? Did you get, now you have new ones from other people?
Yeah, we did. Well, I didn't trade as many as I wanted. I'm like quite shy in person. Going up to people I haven't met and just like saying, like just being like, hey, do you want to trade? It took me a while to like get used to. And it's definitely easier once you're inside or by your seats or anything like that. It feels much easier. When you're outside the stadium, it was a bit more difficult. Because everyone's like trying to do something, so you don't really want to be too intrusive.
Right.
I made a special effort of asking children, and this was because just before we went in, there was like a mother and a daughter outside, and the daughter looked terrified, and I could hear the mother being like, "Go on, go ask, like go, it's fine." So my wife and I went straight up to the kid and we're like, "Do you want to trade bracelets?" And she was like super happy, and it was like really sweet. And then since then, I was like, "Okay, these kids are terrified. The adults are all like these big monsters looming around." From then, every time I saw a kid with a parent, I'd like make an effort. If they had like bracelets, I'd go up, be like, "Do you want to trade?" And I think nearly every single one in there is like from a kid, and everyone's so respectful. Even though people are like walking down these places and areas that have been like themed, everyone waits, everyone queues, everyone gets a chance, no one's like in the way, everyone gives everyone loads of space to take pictures. It's really like friendly, everyone's just like in a great mood. Everyone, like, we had like a pizza before, which by the way was the best pizza I've ever had. It was amazing. Just shout out the pizza, it was so good.
It looked really good on the vlog. I was like, now I want pizza.
It was stupidly good. I couldn't believe it. I know this is such a random tangent.
It was funny that you gave it away because that happened to us too in Edinburgh. Like literally someone was walking around and was like, I'll trade you a slice of pizza for a friendship bracelet. And I was like, yes, this is the best trade I've ever made.
Yeah, we literally it was stupidly huge pizza. Because it's one of those places where it's like, do you want a slice or do you want the whole pizza? And we don't really get many of them in England. That's like not really an English thing. So I'm like, when it's like if you go here in England, you get the whole pizza. Like everyone's ordering a whole pizza. They're not that big slices. So I was like, we'll get the whole pizza. It's just the whole table. They even brought a little stand because the table's so small. The pizza was on a freaking stand. And I was like, oh my word. I'm like, we're not finishing this. This is like bigger than this is huge. In the vlog, I'm like, we need to give away this pizza. And as we were like trying to find where we should go, there was a line of like security staff. And I can't remember how the pizza got brought up. And I was like, oh, we were like, oh, we got to give away some pizza. And he was like, well, if you want, you can just leave it there on the side. And we were like, no, we don't want to just leave it. We're like, we want to give it to someone. We don't want to just put it down. And he was like, no. He's like, if you leave it there, we'll eat the pizza. And I was like, I just looked at him. I was like, are you really going to eat this pizza? I was like, are you going to eat this pizza? So if I leave this pizza here, you're going to eat it. And he was like, yes. And I was like, then I'll leave the pizza here. Shout out that guy. I hope he enjoyed his pizza.
Before we get into the actual show, just wanted to briefly talk about your outfits. You guys looked amazing. I loved the fearless vibe that your wife went with. And I want to know, how were the boots? They were so cute. How were her feet afterwards?
She was absolutely fine. She was absolutely fine. She the boots. So she was wearing the boots around the house like for 2 weeks before the concert.
So
smart.
good. Okay.
Yeah, and the Swifties were all saying that she needs to do that as well. So, but she was doing it before. And then when I told her, I was like, by the way, all the Swifties said you got to do it. And she was like, don't worry, I'm already on it. But at first I didn't realize. So I'd be like up here, like editing or anything, and then I just hear like click, 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 click downstairs. And I was like, what the hell is she doing? I was like, is she wearing her shoes? And then I just go downstairs and she's just in mummy outfit, boots. And I'm like, oh, it's the boots. I'm like, I understand. And so her feet, super pleasant. Like even at the end of the show, it took ages to like get a ride out of London, and we had to walk around for a while, and she was just nailing it. I was the big wimp. I was moaning. I like because I also got a pair of boots, but they weren't anywhere near like hers. They were just normal boots, but I did not wear them at all until the night of the show. And they are like ankle high, and they just rubbed like at the end of the show when we were walking, they just rubbed my whole ankle to the point I had to like loosen them and everything, like turn them into like pirate boots. But she crushed it. She was fantastic. And she was actually kind of upset because I've mentioned it, but we were going to get matching jerseys. Hers is here now and she's been wearing it around the house all the time, but we wanted Mr. and Mrs. G.O.T on the back and like different color jerseys. And but the company didn't dispatch us both at the same time, and then there was like a big hassle, and eventually it got here. So she was really upset about like her outfit, and then she went out in the morning of the show and picked out everything she was wearing. Then she'd already got the boots. That was always her plan. And then I think in the end she looked amazing. She was the star. You know, she made us both look good by just looking amazing.
I can't believe she put that together in the morning of the show. Yeah, it looked awesome. So
yeah,
I know you mentioned that her jersey didn't come in the vlog, and I was like, wait, so did she always have this as a backup? Because she pulled that together so fast.
She actually came back with two different tops. She had one that was like a gray t-shirt with like very subtle gold sparkles in it, and then she had that one. And she's quite reserved, so she put on the gray one, and I knew straight away that she was going to prefer that one because she doesn't like showing too much. So I was like, I know you're not going to be like super comfortable with the gold one, but I was like, you'll feel great when you're there. I was like, just trust me. And so she was like, okay. So she put the gold one on, and she was so happy she picked that one because the other one was like just a normal t-shirt, and she was like super happy when she saw what everyone else was wearing. It just made her fit in, and yeah, she was really happy with that.
Yeah, if you ever have any insecurities about your outfit, then you get there and you're like, oh, I'm good. Like, I'm with my people. No one is judging. They're just respecting. But yeah, she nailed the fearless look. It was super cute.
So once the music actually starts, you guys had Maisie Peters as the first opener. Did you know about Maisie before, or is that your first time hearing about her?
I have to admit, I didn't do it as the homework I should have done. A lot of people were asking me to like check out some Maisie, but because I do everything in advance, and I was like, maybe a first time reaction, people would want want to see? I don't know. So I didn't want to like listen to anything off camera. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to. So I just went in blind. But she is amazing. She is like just this ball of like fiery energy on that stage. She is freaking adorable. Like she is so sweet. She's like, she just seems so happy to be there. Like she's like constantly just like, I love Taylor. I'm a huge fan of Taylor. And she's like, you guys are amazing. And it's just, she felt like they put a swiftie on that stage. The girls that were standing behind us were just singing every freaking song. And I even heard one of them at the end go, I was the only one singing. And I was like, I'm sorry, I wish I knew some words.
Taylor has the best recs. Basically all of her openers, anyone she's ever recommended, I always go running to Spotify and I'm never disappointed. So, and they all also are big Swifties, so it feels like an extension of Taylor whenever she has her openers. What about Paramore?
Paramore, I am a lot more familiar with. I was a huge fan of Paramore with their first like few albums. I think everybody was. So when they like came out, they just like, because there was no one like Paramore. When they came out, they just like took over. When they did Decode for like the Twilight movie, I was in that age of like, when I was like, you know, teenage boy, I was like, Twilight? No. But then as the years went on, I was like, that song is pretty good. But Hailey's voice it's been insane. What has happened to Hailey?
Good.
What has she is so different. Like she does this bit at the end of the show where she just does this like note for 2 minutes. I don't know what the hell has happened to her, but her voice has just aged beautifully. She is stunning.
I know. I feel like she's so underrated. You've been here the whole time since like my childhood and you're crushing it way more than I ever remember. They're so good. You also, it's funny, you said Twilight and Molly and I both were like, we're big Twilight stans on this podcast.
Twilight stans is not even correct.
It's okay. We're in a safe space. Okay.
I had never seen Twilight before. In our wedding, I walked down the aisle to a song from Twilight that I did not know was from Twilight. Okay. The 1,000 Years by Christina Perri.
Beautiful song.
Years later, Ryan brings up Twilight to me and I'm like, yeah, never seen it. And she's like, what? You literally have it in your wedding. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you walked down the aisle to the Twilight song. I was like, no one told me that was the Twilight song.
I'm like, girl, they did you a disservice. But I mean, then I made her watch all the movies and now we're in it. And then there's so much good music that have come, like the soundtracks. Don't get me into that. Like Muse, Paramore. It's just, it goes on.
Ryan and I watched them all together a couple of years ago, finally. So now I know. Now I understand.
I read the book, so I've been in it since day one.
So I think I've seen all of them other than the last one. But my wife, on the other hand, is a huge Twilight fan. When we first started collecting DVDs, we went through this stage when we were first together, like just randomly getting DVDs that we used to love. And we were like just building up like a random collection of just the most random DVDs. Like, I remember this film. That was a cool film. And it's just like all over the place. And the only one she wanted in the collection was Twilight. So we would like go, we'd basically just go to like charity shops and find like DVDs for like 50p. Whenever she found like a Twilight, she'd get it. And we ended up with like 12 movies, like 3 of the same, and I don't know why. And now we just have this like stupidly like big Twilight collection, even though there's only 4 movies, just like different versions, and it's like I don't know why.
That's hilarious.
I love that.
But yeah, she's a huge fan of the Twilight movies as well.
I also have them on DVDs, so I respect that. Who's watching DVDs right now? No one, but I got them and a DVD player, so I can always just hook them up whenever I need them, you know?
All right, so we've seen Maisie, we've seen Paramore, and now it is time. It's been a long time coming. The clock goes up on the screen and the show starts. What were your feelings like in that moment?
So the clock, the crowd was oddly quiet. Like Lady Gaga played before the clock went up. Everyone lost their minds, and I was like, wow, people really into Gaga. I was like, all right, fair, you know, people loving this. Then the clock went up, and then at that point, we'd already had like the from Lady Gaga, and then the countdown. That's when it started getting more intense, and then that's when I was like shaking, and I was like, I don't know what to do. So that's where like I got the phone out. And I was like shaking, and I was like, "This is weird." I was like, "Is my wife gonna think I'm weird?" I was like, "I don't know." I don't know. Like, and then she was like, she wasn't even looking at me, so it was fine. I was like, "Okay." It's like I'm gonna be weird. And then when the I don't even know what you would call them. Like, what do you call them? Like the Yeah.
fans.
The
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I have no idea what they're called. Like the wings.
Yeah.
But
I've seen
yeah,
them in
when
many different spaces. Yeah.
So when
There's
they
some crazy
came
videos
out,
of them in the wind.
yeah, I'm like worried sometimes because they like look huge. I'm like, if the wind blows too hard, they're getting pushed all the way back across the
Oh,
stage.
that happened
Oh,
in
yeah.
Edinburgh. Yeah, they were like,
They
like
had to
holding
hold
on for dear life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They usually have
'Cause they
somebody
look-
else who's not attached and they have to hold them to be like, okay, don't
Yeah.
fly off this. I feel like you could literally fly away if you like let
I feel
yourself.
like you could.
Like,
They look really well
yeah.
made. I reckon you get two of them, you're good. Like
They're
that's not even a
very
joke.
big.
They've put too much effort into making them. They look like big fan. You're getting blown away. And in Scotland,
Yeah.
as windy as it is, so that's dangerous up there. That's like they're
Oh, yeah.
asking for it. But yeah, when they came out, it was like game over for me. Like that was it. I couldn't take it. It's a feeling I've never experienced, and I can't even really explain what it was, but it's just overwhelming. It's so bizarre. I've never felt anything like it. Even in my reactions, I've never felt whatever that emotion is. And my wife was like, after, she was saying, you're such a huge fan of someone. And it's like you just love them. When you finally see them live, it like all just becomes real in that moment. And she said she was just like really jealous because she wished that she was into Taylor so she could like as much as I am, so she could experience that next to me. And she said she was like really jealous that like I got that feeling. And I think that's like a good way of describing it because you see everything on a digital screen. When you see Taylor there, it's like, oh, she's real. You know, that's a real person. And when they come out and they've got their fans and then Taylor just came out from between it. In that moment, I swear I'm gonna say it, but I feel like I died just a little bit.
Yeah.
I like just for a second, I was like if I was on a heart monitor, it flatlined and then I was back. And then I was just like, and I didn't stop shaking for half an hour. I was like holding my wife's hand and she kept going, "You're shaking, are you all right?" And I was like, "I'm fine." I'm okay. I wasn't singing along to anything. I was just a statue. I was just frozen and I was like, this is amazing. It's just such a bizarre feeling. I'm guessing, did you guys feel that as well first time?
Oh yeah, it's like an out-of-body experience. Like the very first like Eras Tour show as well. Like Ryan and I had tickets to Loverfest, which got canceled. So at this point, it's been like 5 years since we've seen her, and the fact that she like starts with "Cruel Summer," like we had been dreaming about hearing that song live for so long. And when she pops up, she obviously starts with Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince, but then goes straight into "Cruel Summer." It's just like, oh my gosh, all my dreams are coming true.
oh my God, she's giving us Cruel Summer out the gate. She's not even making us wait. She's just like, here you go. I'm sorry. It's been a while. It's been a long time coming. But yeah, I watched your react video, or I watched the whole thing, but the little snippet of just like your reaction to the opener. And yeah, per usual, I like started tearing up because I was like, it's always so fun to like experience somebody else experiencing that. And I was like, yeah. That feeling never goes away. Each time, it's like I just feel like so immensely grateful. It's like the Eras Tour is such a spectacle, and every time you're there, you're like, this is a moment. Like everything's culminated into this, and Taylor's now in front of you, and that feeling is gotta hold on to it, you know?
Yeah, it's like it's a hard one to like even think about. All bloody week, I've been like thinking about like moments, and it just sends me back, and then I'm just like find myself just sitting again like teary-eyed, and I'm like, what? I'm like, I gotta stop. I gotta snap out of it. And it's such an emotional experience, and like you said, Ryan, it really does just like carry with you. Like someone was telling me the meaning of Lavender Haze and what it meant. An amazing Swiftie sent me like Taylor doing like a breakdown of it, like talking for like a minute about it, and I was like, I didn't even know what it meant. But for some reason, that song I've just always absolutely loved. And when she performed it live, it just hit like a truck. I don't know why. I can't explain it. And it's just weird how some songs lyrically can mean so much to you. And some songs, you don't even know why they mean so much to you. They just do. I love that song.
I mean, I'll never forget when we heard Midnights for the very first time. That was like the first album that Ryan and I were like together to listen to for the first time together. And as soon as Lavender Haze started playing, we were like, oh my gosh. Like, what is this song?
Yeah, you knew it was going to be a good album. You're like,
Yeah.
all right, go off with this single. Like, if you like a song going into the show too, it's like, you're like, I love this song. And then you hear it live and you're like, wow. And then afterwards, now you compile all of that. And now when you hear Lavender Haze, you're like, oh my God, this song is just like elevated.
Just transcends. Yeah. I literally listened to it this morning. I like put it on my phone, I've listened to it like so many times since. And when I go out on a walk now, that's like my go-to, like I'm going out on a walk, Lavender Haze. And it's just like, I feel like it just puts you in the right like state of mind. It's like very mellow. Everything's okay. Everything's fine. I don't need to worry. And it's just like, that's the sort of like mood it puts me in. I'm like, everything's chill. And whereas in opposed to Reputation, which puts me in a very different sort of mood. And when that happened live, that has a different kind of effect with like the snake and the screen, and especially with everyone wearing their best clown makeup in the crowd waiting for something.
Hi, it's me. I'm the clown, it's me.
Reputation is what brought you to Taylor. How was finally seeing the iconic entrance for Ready For It in real life?
I don't even remember. I'm honest. I think at that point I like passed out until Don't Blame Me. Like I was gone. I was just like, what's going on? And then the note snapped me back. I was like, oh yeah, I'm here. But yeah, it's like the entrance is fantastic. It's amazing how much she changes. Like she literally talks about, you know, the different versions of her in the past and references, you know, the old Taylor is dead. But the old Taylor isn't really dead. Is she can bring the old Taylor back whenever she wants, you know? She like reanimates old Taylor for all these performances. And you feel that with Eras Tour because it really feels like she is back in those moments. Like Reputation, it just feels like she is, you know, bad Taylor, not taking from anybody. She's just out there and she's just there to make us all shake. And then you feel like the romance come with like Lover, and then Red is just a party. And it's just like, and you feel just everything just changes, everything shifts. TBD is the only one I would say, because it was the first one like I hadn't had any experience with. I feel like Taylor's just being nothing. Like she's just kind of her, because it's the songs are so like, a lot of them are quite like some of them are quite emotional, and the lyrics can be quite heavy in a lot of them. But even the songs like the heavier lyrics, she makes fun, and she just seems happy even when the lyrics are like quite sad. She just seems like happy. And for TPD, she just seemed like she was always smiling. No matter how sad the songs were, she was having the best time. And I feel like, again, maybe that is just because that is where she is now. So it's like, it's interesting just seeing those different like parts of her. It's amazing how she can do that. I don't know any other artist that can like just jump back into those different versions. Like to
You're
reference
such a
Paramore.
swiftie now, Luke. You're such a swiftie. Sorry to interrupt, but Molly and I were literally just talking about this. She really encapsulates each era and like makes you feel like that was the vibe. And like if you didn't see her live during those eras, you're seeing it now, and you didn't miss much because that was it.
The only thing I can think of is like with Paramore, and like even when I've seen bands like Papa Roach or any band that has like a different sound now to what they used to have, when they perform their older songs, and I'm not saying anything mean about Paramore, but when they performed their songs that I don't know, like their newer stuff that I don't know, and I'm definitely going to change that because Hayley's just incredible and I want to hear her new stuff. When they performed like Misery Business live, it felt like now Paramore performing an old song. And it's the same when I've seen Papa Roach like twice, and I saw them recently in one. They were like a band I loved when I was younger. And when I saw them when I was younger, if you know, different kind of energy to now when they play their old songs. Again, it feels like the version of them now playing their old songs. And then even at the end, is it Look What You Made Me Do? At the end, she's actually lined up with all of the versions of herself in the music video. And as a new Swiftie, I don't know what that was like. So I don't really have an opinion here, but it never felt like an artist performing their old songs. It felt like watching an artist live their old songs. It was a completely different experience.
Yeah, that's like the perfect way to explain it.
The last time we had you on, you said at the time, which I know you've watched a lot since then, that was 3 months ago. At the time, you said Don't Blame Me was your favorite live performance that you'd watched. After now, having seen her live, one, were you transcended when you saw Don't Blame Me? Because that's what I asked you last time, or said last time. I was like, you're going to be transcended. And two, is it still your favorite live performance?
Yes, transcended. It is mind blowing. I got the squeak. Yay. It was amazing. And again, there's like parts of the show that I feel like I like, you know, and you have like these milestones in your head, and that was one of them. I was like, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking like, can't wait. And then when it happened, I was like, you sort of like switch on even more than you already are. You're like just hyper focused. You're like, I'm waiting for this. And like that's what it felt like with Don't Blame Me. The weird thing is, after seeing her live, I feel like I've come to experience appreciate such a different side because of the crowd. And I don't know if this will sound weird, but for example, something is like a song that like I like, but I would never like put in my favorites of Taylor is Shake It Off. But seeing Shake It Off live, it is awesome. The whole crowd is crazy. Everyone is dancing. It's the only Taylor song my wife knows off by heart. She's going crazy, and it just changed. And I was like, oh my god, this song is so good. And it's just like, and then I'm just like, this is the best. And Taylor's just like losing her mind on stage. All of her dancers are losing their mind. It's such a fun performance. And I got like such a new appreciation for that song just seeing it on stage. So that is definitely one that I would put in like one of my favorite like lives I saw of the night, just because of how it changed everything. My complete bias, Lavender Haze, has got to be in there as well, but that's just me being biased. And then I have a much more appreciation, I would say, for Folklore. Every song, I feel like there is such a personal touch to Folklore. There's such a like an emotion you feel from Taylor that I don't know if you sort of really feel. Everything slows down, and Taylor sort of like changes the whole show, and the cabin is stunning, and it just feels so different. And like I like Folklore, but it's like very mellow, and then seeing it live, I just came to appreciate that like real mellowness, that slowness, and it's yeah. I still say like Don't Blame Me is always going to be up there. But yeah, I never thought I'd put like Shake It Off up there as well for like completely different reasons. But God, it's so good live.
What about seeing 10 Minute All Too Well?
That was insane. My stupid brain like did not understand what was happening straight away. When she came out and she was like, oh, you know, have you got 10 minutes of your time? And it's like playing All Too Well. I didn't put those two together, and I went, oh, we're getting the short version of All Too Well. And then when it kept going on, I was like, wait, she said 10 minutes. And then I was like, how did I not like understand what she meant by that? And then I was like, oh my God. And then yeah, that was another one of those like locked in moments where it's just like you're just focused. That one was one of the, I'd say like there was a few moments where I was like the teariest moments. Don't Blame Me is definitely one of them. All Too Well, Long Live, and the opening, I'd say were the 4 moments of the concert that I can think of right now that were like so emotional. And yeah, but that was that was amazing.
That brings us to surprise songs. You said Long Live is one of the moments that you got emotional. You had amazing surprise songs. So like talk us through that. How did you feel in the moment starting off with Long Live?
Long Live was like an immediate phone moment for me. It's like the second it played, I was like, click. It's just like immediate. I was like, and the phone is out and I'm recording. I tried to like a lot of the shots of me and some of the shots of I think like Long Live was recorded in vertical was because those were the moments I'm not paying attention. So whenever the camera is like on my face, I really wanted to make sure I'm experiencing it and people could experience it with me. So whenever it's vertical, I'm not really paying attention to the camera. Like I am watching the concert. So with Long Live, vertical, I just press click. I was like, people are going to want to see the reaction. That was absolutely ridiculous. The crowd went insane. And especially, it's hard to talk about getting emotional, but especially after like Speak Now and how everything tied together. And my wife having no idea what was going on. And like, I'm just there like holding it together. And it's just the anthem for everyone there. And it just immediately feels so special. And it's just like every word and just her pointing to the crowd. And it just kind of breaks your heart in like the most beautiful way. And then, yeah, when it ends, it's just like, it is so weird. It's a song that you're listening to that already feels nostalgic and you're like experiencing it. And yeah, when it ended, I literally turned to my wife with like teary eyes and just went, I was like, that's the song. I was like, that's our song. I was like, that's the song. And my wife was like, okay.
Did you know the song Change that she mashed it up with?
It felt familiar, but have I done a reaction to Change? I'm not sure.
I don't think you have.
Think so.
Yeah. So it's from Fearless. And that was my surprise song when I saw her for the Reputation Stadium tour. So when it started to play, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I wasn't sure if you were familiar with that one or not.
No, it was like, it's one of those ones, because like when I listen to like a Taylor playlist, I do my best to skip everything I don't know. Second a song comes on, I don't know, I skip it just so everyone can get genuine reactions on YouTube. But now I hear one I know I haven't heard and I'll be like, and then so Change was one of those ones. But I feel like it was amazing how everything tied. Like I feel like she couldn't have picked, like they just worked so well. Archer is so slow, so emotional. Just fits with Long Live so brilliantly. You're on Your Own, Kid, again. Just like if that all feels just like that's one song. It's crazy, and yeah, and it just like, and that all just like is such an emotional like punch. At that point, she's literally just bullying. She's just like, I'm gonna make them cry. I don't care. So
that's what Ryan and I were messaging afterwards. We were like, oh my gosh, we cannot believe Luke got these songs. He must have been crying so hard.
I know, long live especially.
I'm already at this point now where I'm like, I need to see her alive. Like I need to see her live again. It's like, I don't even know if I've seen her live yet. And it's like, I feel like I haven't seen her live until a few more times. And then I've officially seen Taylor live.
There's never enough times, I'm warning you. You will never be satiated. People are always like, how do you go to the same show? I'm like, first of all, it's not the same show. But second of all, even if it was, I would see it every day. That's why we tune into the Granny live stream. It's like, even I was against that, and I was like, this sucks. This isn't as good as seeing her live. But then you're like, well, this is all I can get, so just soak it in. If this is how I get my surprise songs, I'll take it, because it's better than nothing.
The community as well helps so much. You know, when the songs come on and like everyone's just like, oh my god, and especially like you said with the surprise songs, it's like everyone just waits for these moments. Even when we were doing the vlog and we were like watching the premiere, it just like following chat, I was just getting distracted from the vlog. I don't even know if I watched the freaking vlog, and it's like, I've edited it, so I've seen it, it's fine. But I was just looking at chat and everyone's reactions to different moments, and I imagine the live streams are very similar with that, which that makes it fun. You know, everyone's like together, and that makes it
the
really
chats
fun.
are wilding out. People are saying the most of like things that aren't actually happening, because, you know, we're also clowning too nowadays when we're watching, so it's like a double like, wow, what's the surprise song? Oh, what's happening? What's not happening?
People will spread some fake information in the comments of the live stream, so they'll be like, Post Malone is on stage. We're like, what? Oh no, it's actually just the dancer that's always on stage every time.
Stevie Nicks has left the VIP tent. No, she hasn't.
I had that live as well. Like, there was a moment when she plays Fortnite, like the stage door opens, but two opened, and I had like two Swifties in front of me, and one of them like turns the other one and like mumbles something and like immediately got her phone out, and then I was like, there's no way. And then in that moment I could hear like chatter, and I was like, is it? And it was just the bed and then just like the dancers, and then I was just like, oh my god, it's like, I'm becoming one of those people. I need to get my red nose and my makeup. I was like, what's wrong with me now? I was like, I gotta stop this.
Come join us, Luke. There's more room in the clowndom.
I've been following your Reputation videos. They have been wonderful. It feels like you just need a chalkboard behind you and you can like connect things to it. It's just the best.
It would give like you know, Finding a Murderer vibes, I think, but it's kind of at that point. And yeah, sometimes I literally, when I'm making the videos, I just want to be like, all right guys, here's what's going on. Don't worry, I've already been taking mad notes for the next clown date, so stay tuned.
I love it because it's got to be like, it's got to be true. There's got to be something. It has to be.
Sure. Someday we'll be right.
Yeah. Someday it's gonna happen. It's like, we don't know when, but someday, and maybe she's telling us. It's like, maybe, or maybe she's just, you know, like saying like what, you know, what she's gonna order. You know, oh, by the way, after this show, I want a number 2 and a number 4, and, and it's just, and that's it. And then we're like looking at it, it's like, what does this mean? What does this mean? And she's just like, I was just hungry.
She's probably like, oh my god, they have taken this. But I also wish she would come out with like, hey, by the way, here is what I was actually like trying to tease, you know? And I feel like those are revealed once we know. It's like when we got Torture Poets, we were like, oh, that outfit at the Grammys, it makes sense.
I would love a Taylor video of her sitting down for just like an hour. So all of you said this. Well, when I really just meant this. And it's like, and then you guys said this, and I really meant it. And you're like, oh, no, we got that way wrong.
So you guys did the math on things that I don't even know why you were doing the math. You were adding things up. And I know they all ended up to 13, but that is just a coincidence.
Yeah.
I'm now going into a new phase as well. I haven't really paid much attention to the outside world of Taylor. I think a lot of people like that, but now a lot of people would also maybe like me to pay a little bit more attention. So that is something I'm now doing, and there will be a Travis Taylor video, so which is coming out, which was very sweet, and he is just a big old soppy dork in the best way, and I love him. And he is fantastic. Watching like the club shot, he's like singing one of Taylor's songs, and he like turns around and like points at her inside
in the club after the Super Bowl.
Yeah. and like he like turns around, like points at her, and she's like with a few people, and she just looks
like this.
Yeah, and she actually just looks annoyed, but like in a cute way. She's just like, this guy, like, will he relax?
Yeah, she's like,
yeah, cheers, stop, no more drink for you. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, I just get flashbacks to like my wife. I was like, oh, she's got one. I was like, that is the look. I was like, that's like this guy again.
No one loves Tayvis content more than the Swifties or everyone. It's, you know,
the whole world.
It's
yeah,
like,
I feel
it's
like
like
a lot of
Shake It
people.
Off. It's like Shake It,
Yeah.
the relationship version of Shake It Off. It's like if you don't know or care about Tayvis or the Chiefs, it's like, all right, you're a little out of the loop. And that's saying a lot coming from me because I was slow to it in the beginning and was like, I don't know. And now, yep, down the
I
rabbit
was
hole
like,
with the rest
Ryan,
of them.
she's dating a football player.
I was like,
Get with the program.
I don't know. Let's let him prove himself. But it's been over a year now, and I think they're
because Ryan and I are both big sports fans, so it's like the crossover of sports and Taylor the last year has been so much fun for us. It's just awesome seeing her seem so happy with someone who seems so happy to be a part of her life. It's been such so many fun little moments of them being out in the public together.
Yeah. There's none of that like drama. There's no like, you know, he's hiding, they're hiding, you know. It's just like Taylor's met this person who is the same as Taylor, who they are just both big old dorks together in like the most romantic way, and they just match each other's energy. And I've never I've changed. I'm a new person. I've never cared about like a celebrity relationship ever, like anyone, even celebrities like I've like loved in the past. If they're like, oh, this couple broke up, I'm like, okay. With Taylor and Travis, it was the first time, and the clip that did it for me, that I was like, right, I'm here, I'm invested now, was literally him doing this. It was that simple. It was literally when she was like walking and all the Swifties are cheering, and he just like stands in front and goes like, and she just goes, and then like holds his hand, and I was like, I love them, they are the best, I'm invested now. I was like, just like, what's wrong with me?
the first one we ever saw of him at, like, I think the first show he was ever at, when like she went running to him after the show, and it was like, what is happening?
That one I did react to. That is adorable as well, because he's like just standing in the back completely on his own. There's not like a bodyguard or a friend. It's just him on his own. He looks like so like uncomfortable as well. He's like, he's
trying to be
what's
chill.
going
He's
on.
like, I
yeah.
want to like
And
steal
then
the show,
yeah,
and she's like,
you know, she just sees him and goes like, and just like runs right at him and just jumps on him, and you're just like, oh my god. And the clip with Taylor when she walks out on the field, I can't remember if this was just one of the matches or the Super Bowl, but she's like walking out and she just looks so like timid and just nervous, and she even like says like, am I supposed to be here? Like, should I be doing this? I don't know what to do. And it's like in that moment I'm like, oh my god, like Taylor is this superstar, but she really is just like just this girl in love who's like in this moment doesn't know what's going on. It still blows my mind, and it will never stop blowing my mind how just normal she is. And in that moment it was another one of those like realization moments, which is like, it's like, how is she nervous of anything? I was like, how is she nervous about how, like, she's like, should I be here? And she like looked really timid. She's like standing behind people and like, is he, you know, should I go over and see him? And I was like, surely she just walk down and be like, yeah, I'm here. But she's not. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was the game before the Super Bowl. That was the AFC Championship, and that was the first time we saw her on the field. And again, it was like, oh my gosh, Taylor Swift went on the field. And there's a clip where she says to her security, they're like, where are you going? She's like, I'm following Donna, like Travis's mom. She's like, I'm just gonna follow her. Like whatever she does, I'll do.
Yeah. She keeps saying it's like Travis's mom the whole time. She's like, is this okay? And she's like, yes, it's fine.
We could talk about Tayvis forever. I'm so excited to see your reaction video now. Definitely go check Luke's page for his Tayvis reaction. Welcome to the Chiefs kingdom. Officially got your jersey, and now you're doing Tayvis reaction.
That's it. It's done.
You do.
It's done. I guess I think I want to ask you guys as well before we finish. What did you think of the vlog? Were you happy with how it turned out? Because I was like, not sure. It
was great, and you really encompassed the show, and we got to see a lot of it. And I liked your ending too, where it was just so real. You're like, I'm tired. And like, here I am in bed.
Favorite part, probably the Lavender Haze part, because I had like forgotten that you said that was your favorite song. So when we got to it, I was like, oh my gosh, like, yay!
You just hear my like high voice in the background going like, just like singing along. when I like heard it back, I was like, oh my God, that is amazing. I'm leaving it in. I was just I was like, that is fantastic.
Yeah. It was fun to watch the shock wear off too. Like you started like, and then as the show got into it, it's like, you know, got a little bit more comfortable while being emotional and like dipping back in, but it's like, all right, we're in it. And like, holy shit, we're at the Eras tour.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be really emotionally overwhelming, but it turns out it's just super fun. And it's like, once you get past the like, oh my God, Taylor's real. Wow. Then it's just like, oh my God, this is such a vibe. And then I wasn't like crying like I thought I would, but I didn't stop smiling the whole time. It's just like one of the happiest experiences ever.
Can't wait for the next one for you.
Yeah, the Eras tour is truly an incredible experience for anyone who gets to go.
And also, before we wrap up, just well done on the channel. You guys are crushing it. Keep doing it.
Thank you.
You're doing amazing. I'm so like I'm weirdly obsessed as well with it. I'm like, oh my God, look how well they're doing. I was like, they're crushing on everything. I was like, their TikTok, wow. I was like, their YouTube, they've broken 20,000 subscribers. I love this.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
When I first watched like your videos before we did the first one, I was just like, there's so much more attention is deserved over here. And I'm super happy you guys are getting it. You're wonderful. And it's like, so yeah, I just wanted to say that. Keep crushing it because you're an absolute breath of fresh air.
So fun to have you back and like just to have like that comfort and like it's like having an old friend back and like, you know, you support us and we love all of your stuff and are still deep in your Taylor journey and your channel's also crushing it as always, and it's just been really cool to like meet you through all of this. So very grateful for what Taylor has, you know, created and brought us to.
Yes, we love watching your reactions and you're almost at 500,000 subscribers, so like
goals.
It's nice that you're watching us, but we're looking at you like, how has he built this empire? This is crazy. But we can tell because you're just so genuine and relatable in all of your reactions. And as we've said, it makes us feel like we get to like relive our Swiftie journey through yours.
I want you guys to hit it before me. So subscribe to this channel, all right?
That would be, I don't know what would, a glitch in the Matrix if that happened, but.
Yeah. Oh, random thing. I didn't even know this, but I saw your TikTok as well after I was on the podcast. And it's like, and the Taylor comment.
That also just feels like a fever dream. That was like the weekend that Tortured Poets was released and they did the Fortnite challenge. We'll make this little montage. Ryan spent like a couple hours making that. And then all of a sudden, like almost a week later on a random like morning, I get the push notification with a heart. And I'm like, what? This isn't really her, is it? And we go and look. I'm like,
yeah. And then she added it to the playlist, and people were commenting. They're like, she added you to their playlist, and we're just like, what is going on?
She'll see you someday. I believe it.
I can be like, I know you guys. It's like, you know, Molly and Ryan. It's like, well, Taylor commented on it. I know them.
Third degree of separation, you know?
Whenever we're having a bad day, we're like, Taylor saw our faces once.
She was sitting there, she saw it, and she was like, love them, heart.
Well, thank you so much. Again, please go check out Luke at G.O.T Games if you haven't already. Absolutely subscribe to his channel and continue to follow his Taylor journey. Thanks for joining us.
No, it's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure. I will 100% be coming back more times if you will have me.
And, whenever you want.
And subscribe here. Subscribe here. All right. 500 million subscribers by next month. Let's do it. Subscribe. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Goals attainable. Thank you, Luke.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.